somebody shot your husband?
Yeah. Placed on the ambulance.
Okay, is the person still there that shot him?
I don't know. He left.
Is there anybody else in the house with you?
My son is not still. Oh my God, my teenage son is.
How old is your son?
He's 16.
16-year-old?
Oh my God, I better
Okay, is your son in the basement with you too?
Yeah, my son is in my basement too.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. He got me when I don't know.
Got you?
No, he got me.
Freak out.
No, you can't. You can't. He left.
Can you tell me what happened out here today?
Well, I was downstairs sleeping, and my mom came in at about 6 o'clock, or maybe a little earlier, and I slept right through the gunshot, I guess. I had a gun downstairs. I have a 22 for hunting and stuff, and so I grabbed that and put some shells in there because I didn't know where he was at or anything like that. So I go upstairs, and she told me to wait down there, but I went upstairs, and I just sat in the entryway, and then she was crying and stuff, and then we waited till the police got there.
I'm guessing, on the phone you kind of mentioned you kind of heard about things that had happened. What do you know about what happened?
I guess what I have heard is that, well, initially there was a home invasion and there was a murder.
Okay. How did you find out about this, Tucker?
The news.
Okay. When were you involved in a relationship with Jim?
I think it was like a year before they were married.
Before she married Jim?
Yes.
How long was that relationship?
2-3 years.
Did it end well?
Not very well, no.
Okay, how'd you know Jim?
He was just a friend of mine, I guess. Jim was always a good guy, and I never had a problem with him. It was always just kind of between me and Jen, I guess.
Tuesday morning. Do you remember where you were at?
Not exactly. I believe I was at work.
Even Jen had mentioned, in her statements, well, you really should go and talk with my ex because, I think he's somebody that you should really look into. And what I'm trying to do with you, too, is if there's a surefire way that we can verify where you were at that morning, it makes life a lot easier for everybody, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Kind of the theme of the day everyone has told me that I've talked to.
Brady had this business, it was the day before the wake. He ended up having this crap too.
How long did it last? Was it a while?
It was a good 3-4 days. He had a fever and stuff too, so. Just a couple questions. Can I ask some questions or no?
You can, but what we have to clarify a couple things, Jen, just for the record, is that you initiated and told the jail that you wanted to talk to us.
Yes.
So that's why we came in here.
Yes.
And met with you. And then the other thing is, for us to talk to you at all, we have to read your rights because you're in custody
Sure.
now. So I do have to do that again.
Okay.
And if
Go
there's
ahead.
a question you don't want to answer or something like that, you never have to.
Right.
That's maybe I haven't made that clear before, but I do have to go through that again. Okay.
That's fine.
All right. You have the right to remain silent, and having them in mind, are you willing to speak with us at this time?
Yes. What was I? You said homicide yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
What are my convictions?
Well, you're not convicted of anything yet. You're charged.
Okay, what am I charged
You're
with?
charged
I never
with-
got a charge sheet or a charge.
The jail had a copy of it.
They
I
have a
think.
copy of it over there.
Oh.
Maybe, did you ask them to see it or anything? Or
I didn't, I guess.
Okay.
We can make that happen till we go back
Right,
over
but I
it.
can
Okay.
tell you it's second degree
Okay.
murder is what you're charged with.
Okay.
That's
And what does that entail?
well,
Well,
I think it's second degree intentional murder is what you're charged with. So that just means that you intended to kill somebody. It's
I see.
it's if you accidentally shoot somebody, that's generally charged as manslaughter, for instance. Like if you're being careless with a gun, doing something crazy and it goes off, a lot of times you'll see guys think a gun's unloaded and they point it and pull the trigger and it's not. That's oftentimes charged like as a manslaughter because it was an accident, but you were still doing something that you really shouldn't have been doing.
Right. Right.
Then you'd be charged with manslaughter. Then the next step up from that is second degree murder. So,
I see.
so that's the situation.
I don't know what to say. I just want all this to go away.
I know.
And I know it's not going to.
And I think sometimes it's what we're talking to you about. without us knowing what exactly happened.
Like I said, I mean, we know about the drug stuff, Jen. Okay, if you're out of your mind on drugs, you're out of your mind on drugs. That's okay, but we need to know that and hear it from you, I guess, is the only thing, you know.
I have an addiction to prescription pain pills.
Okay. When did it start?
I'm so ashamed.
It's okay.
I call prescriptions in for myself. I'm just so ashamed.
It's okay.
A lot of people have things happen, and a lot of people make mistakes. You're not the only person that's ever been addicted to prescription pain medication.
It's okay. Was there an event that kind of started that off, that precipitated that? Did you get injured or something, or just?
I injured my ankle a while ago, and it got worse after. While we were dating that first year, it wasn't too bad, and then it was slightly before I think we got married that I ended up becoming addicted to them and needing to have them all the time. Otherwise, I would go through withdrawal.
Okay. What did it start with tramadol or start with something else?
No, it's just always been
It's been tramadol. Because that's not a commonly prescribed drug, is it?
It's not even a controlled substance.
Okay.
It's not even a controlled narcotic, but it has opioid effect.
Okay, so it kind of affects your brain the same way a narcotic would.
Yeah.
Okay. And how much? I mean, how much are you using right now? How much had you been using on average?
180 pills a week,
Wow.
which is usually 8 per day is the max.
Okay. And those are what? How many milligram? Like 40 milligram?
50.
50 milligram pills. Wow.
My life wasn't. This is how it was supposed to go.
Well, and it sounds like from some of the stuff we're hearing, for a while, you've been kind of carrying all the bills and that kind of stuff. So you've been under, a lot of pressure to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs. I'm sure that doesn't help.
I never wanted to hurt anybody. But I am an honest person. I'm not a liar. And I've always taught that to my son. But I've become that person. I've become that liar that finding excuses why I'd be late for work and stuff, and a lot of it was the meds. A lot of it was the using. And I worked in healthcare. I knew you could get help, but I didn't do it.
A lot of people have to battle through stuff too, Jen. Like I said, it's nothing that anybody wants to talk about too, but you're not the only person that's had to go through that stuff. And it has effects on people where they do stuff that they wouldn't normally do. It changes them, It really does. We see it all the time. And prescription drug stuff is getting to be bigger than anything else, so there's a lot of people that have problems with it.
I can't face anybody. How do you face somebody when you've done something like this?
I know.
It was like I was there, but I wasn't.
Like you were not in your person watching yourself do something and...
Saying it was the devil. Get rid of it.
Was there voices telling you that? Did you feel like you were hallucinating?
Getting harder to keep that secret, or
Well, financially wise, I suppose it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had to pay for those. And you know, it wasn't cheap, but I also had to pay for everything else. So.
Yeah, it seemed like they said from what we're hearing, Jim hadn't been working much up until recently.
Up until these last 4
Right.
weeks, I suppose.
So you were carrying the mortgage and the bills, and they say working 3 jobs. It's a lot of pressure.
I don't understand how somebody goes from this to this, just like that. I don't get it.
I know. You know what, Jen? I want to tell you just about my friend, my best friend in the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
We've been friends for many years, worked together, you know, do stuff outside of work together.
I know you can lie to me though, is this bullshit?
No, it is not bullshit.
Okay, I'm
And
sorry,
you know what?
you guys.
No, listen.
I'm not stupid either.
No, I know you're
though,
not
so.
stupid. Jen, I absolutely know you're not stupid, okay? We've talked to a ton of people, and we've talked to you, and I know you are not stupid, and I do not think you're stupid, and neither does Paul.
And we've spent a lot of time talking together, and I don't
Right.
think
We don't think you're stupid. This is a true story, and I'm just telling you this because I want you to understand that we're not these evil people who just think terribly of you, okay? But I had a good friend. We were very close for 12 years, partners at work, hung out outside of work. We were like this, okay? We're kind of like you and Carrie were.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We're tight. And he had hurt his back, and then he had hurt his knee, both on work-related injuries, and he had gotten hooked on pain pills. He was taking oxycodone though, you know, but same effect on the brain probably. And I had no idea, and he had gotten addicted, and he was doing the same types of things, internet pharmacies, taking all these pills, and you know, it destroyed his life. It destroyed our friendship. He ended up losing his job. I mean, and he was out of his mind, and he was doing crazy things. And this was my best friend, and I'm like, this can't be. This can't be happening. I don't want to believe it, but it does happen because it controls you. Mm-hmm. And this is not a BS story. I swear to you, it's a true story. So I can't relate personally, like I can say I've been in your shoes,
Mm-hmm.
but I've seen it before. Okay, I've seen it before up close, and it's very powerful. And like I've said before, it makes people do things that they wouldn't do in a million years. You know, and we can't. None of us can go back and undo what's happened. Okay? As much as you want to, okay, I know you want to, but we can't.
God, if I could give it back in our feet, I would.
What?
If I could give it my life, I would.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. You said something, Jen, that we can lie to you, and you know, we to a degree police can, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, I promise. You have my word. I'm not. I hope you can look at me in the eyes and believe that I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. We don't want to do that. We don't need to do that. You said yourself, you've always been an honest person, and that, again, all the people we've talked to, your friends, your family, all of them say the same thing, okay? You are of good character, okay? You have no criminal record. You have worked hard to make something of yourself, and you've worked very hard to make something of Brady, and he is a great kid. He is #1 in his class.
He is a good kid. Oh,
Yeah.
God, he's a good kid. This is gonna kill him.
Well, no, Brady can survive this, okay? He can survive this.
But sometimes they will, though.
I don't know that I would say that. I don't say that would necessarily be the case.
So if I plead guilty on Monday, what is going to happen to me?
That I can't tell you that. And again, I told you I won't lie. I don't know. Okay, all those decisions, our job, Paul's job, my job, we're not here to judge you. Okay,
I know.
it's only our job to gather the facts, to find the truth, and present that to the prosecuting attorney. They make the decision on charges. You know, the judge has input on, you know, all those things on sentence, and that's all, you know, that's all stuff we're getting, you know, the cart kind of ahead of the horse here, you know. But, you know, what I can tell you, that the only thing we can do for you is try and present your story fairly and accurately. And that's what I've promised people before, is I won't twist things, okay? I won't try to portray you as something that you're not, okay? I'm not going to try to just put spin on it. You know what I mean? I
No.
can promise you, that's the only thing I promise you, is that I can make sure that what is real and true and accurate goes forward. And if you present, I mean, I would never go to the court and say, oh, I think Jennifer has, been a terrible mother and a terrible wife. I don't think those things at all. I think that, you know what I mean, you've done the right things, okay? And I would be honest in that, okay? What would happen to you, what potential sentences and those kinds of things, man, that's all for people above us. That's for prosecuting and attorneys to make on charging decisions and judges, that's all beyond us. I can't make that up. That's just the way
Are
it
they
is.
gonna make me reenact everything?
No, I don't. To enter a guilty plea, you have to give some statement of what happened for the court for the judge to be satisfied that it's believable and he accepts it and all those things. Because sometimes, crazy as it sounds, sometimes people who didn't do things sometimes do claim to have done something, and so the judge has to make sure that he believes that. But as far as actually reenacting things, no.
And I think too, a lot of what we do too is for courts and for our job for that. But a lot of what we do too is for people that are left behind. I personally would if I empathize with the family too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they kind of would want to know too exactly.
Right.
And
that's the biggest question right now. Probably that the people we talk to have is they want to know how and why. They just want answers. They want something that they can kind of wrap their mind around and say, well, okay, this is why this all happened.
And we kind of got a little bit of a window into things through our investigation too. But again, we weren't there, so.
There's just so many things going through my head, I don't know. I mean, it's everything we've talked about. It's the pressure of everything, the finances.
Jen, what's more important than it happened, you can't back up and do it. Obviously, you're sorry. Okay, you said yourself if you could change it and give your life, you would. Is that true? You said that? That's what you meant?
Yeah.
Because there again, those are things that I think that's important for people to hear that from you. How you feel that you're not some uncaring. Okay.
It was horrible. It was horrible. What did happen? I thought, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I made it look like someone tried to hurt me and came in and...
Okay. I want to make sure on a couple things, though, that are important, okay? Brady had nothing to do with any of this.
No.
Swear.
I swear to God. No, I swear to God.
And he doesn't know
No.
anything about it. He didn't help you set the scene up or
No.
anything.
Oh,
You
God, no.
you truly didn't wake him up until
No.
afterwards?
I swear to God.
Okay.
I swear on my life. I swear.
Well, I know. I believe you if you swear that it's the truth. But
I do.
But I have to ask you that.
Yes.
I have to be clear on that.
I do.
Um,
Brady had absolutely nothing to do with it. He was so startled
mhm.
when I went down there. Because I was on the phone with 911 when I went down there to ask him. He was asleep.
Okay.
He was dead asleep, and I called his name twice, and then he finally woke up. With the big eyes, like, what the hell is going on, Mom?
Right. So his reactions, which they seem like they're all very normal and appropriate for somebody in that situation, that's all legit.
Yep.
Okay.
Brady knew nothing about it. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Did anybody know about it?
No. No.
Carrie, nobody?
Nobody.
Okay.
Nobody.
Okay. I believe you. How long had you been thinking about it, though, that night? I mean, like you say, you were up all night.
I went to sleep at one point.
Okay.
because we went to sleep, and I think by the time I actually fell asleep, though, it was like probably 12:30. And then I woke up at 4:30
Okay.
to my alarm,
Okay.
and I shut that off, and I had fallen back asleep.
Okay.
And then when it was 5:30, that's when I all of a sudden got into a panic and went, because I had taken some meds.
And you hadn't had much sleep.
So, oh, it just makes me sick even thinking about it.
I know.
And what I did.
I know. I'm sure it's been just killing you the last few days.
It's been killing me since the day it happened.
And I think when we were talking to you too,
Yeah.
No,
you could tell,
that it shows. It's clear.
it's a lot to carry
I
around.
don't know how I'm gonna live with this the rest of my life. I don't know how. But the other thing is, though, is I know that Jim is in heaven. And that Brady will someday go to heaven. And then if I try to take my own life, I won't be with them. Because that just crossed my mind too.
Well, and I would just encourage you, please don't try to push those thoughts out, because you know what? You made a mistake, but you're still Brady's mother, and you're going to be his mother for the rest of his life, and you need to continue to do that, okay?
Yeah.
That
Even if it is for my child.
And I know that this is really hard, and I don't want to push you, okay?
Okay.
I don't. I really don't. And I'm not going to, and Paul's not either, okay? This is you, and I'm going to write the report that way.
Okay.
That Jen did this of her own volition. We didn't make her do this. She is a big person, is a person of strong enough character, and said, I'm going to be honest and do this, okay? Because that's what happened, right?
Yes.
And I guarantee I will make the report reflect that, okay? That is the way this happened, and I'm not gonna push you. I know you're having a very hard time with this, okay? Which is completely understandable. But we do need to go through the details, or we'd like to, just one time, okay?
Okay.
And you do it, and we're not gonna push, and you do it at your own pace, okay? But I know you want to have the truth out there, exactly the truth. Okay, from start to finish, one time.
I don't know where to start. Oh, this is horrible.
I know.
It's horrible, though, you guys.
I know.
And yes, I had to. Jim, there was a gun Jim had bought for me.
That's true too.
That's very true.
Okay.
Jim bought the gun for me, wanted me to learn how to target practice.
Mm-hmm. Was he, when you got home Monday night, was he already home, or did you get home first?
He was home first, and then
He
I
was
got
home,
home.
then you
He
got
was
there.
outside dinking around, so I said,
Okay.
"You want to help?" Or I said, "Do you want me to target shoot? Because you've been
Mhm.
wanting me to target shoot. He had bought me that gun."
Mm-hmm.
So we target shoot, or we did our target practice or whatever. Went inside, got a little to eat. Brady and I
so you
had our
shot
meatball
first?
fart. Yeah, I think we shot first.
Then went inside.
And then went inside to eat.
Okay.
Yep. And then me and Brady had our little meatball fight.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I came back upstairs and had finished off the rest of the meatballs and the mashed potatoes, and Jim had been making some other leftovers and stuff for him. And then I put the dishes away, and I brushed my teeth, and then Jim and I went and sat on the couch and watched TV. And he had set the gun in the corner
Where at? In which room?
in the, but next to the sliding glass door.
Okay.
He set that in the corner, and I knew the ammo was up there too,
Okay.
because we had put that there.
And he had showed you how to load the gun,
Mm-hmm.
how to, and can.
Yeah, because we went deer hunting the year before. I mean,
Mhm.
he was trying to teach me how to do all of that with any type of gun that he was
Mhm.
getting me to use. So,
Mhm.
and then we watched the news until 10:30 and went to bed. he was after me about sex a lot, and that was something that bothered me.
Okay. Caused some friction between you two?
Yeah. So I laid there and I laid there. I had taken some pills before I had gone to bed.
Do you remember how many?
Probably like 6 or 8. Which sometimes when I do that I have a hard time sleeping to begin with, because that is how it messes with you sometimes.
Just kind of like make you agitated? And...
It does. It kind of keeps you up, makes you dream, stuff like that. And so I woke up alarm went off at 4:30, and I had shut it off. And I think I had a couple more pills laying on the nightstand that I had taken. I'm trying to remember if I had water there, if I just took them dry. I don't even know. And I had fallen back asleep though. And I woke up at 5:30 in a panic. And that's when I went out and I got the gun. And I loaded one shell. And I came back into the bedroom. And there was a throw blanket laying on the end of the bed. So I took that and kind of rested the gun on his shoulder. And they just kept saying, "He's the devil, he's the devil, he's the..." And I pulled the trigger.
It's okay.
Oh my god, I'm just so sick about this. This is not me. I am not this person. And then I put the gun down and realized he wasn't bleeding. And I panicked and I went to go find his phone and I couldn't find it, so I had to run out to the craft room to get mine.
Okay.
I called 911 and I went back in to check on him. I couldn't feel a pulse.
Where did you check, on his neck or his wrist, or?
I think I checked on his wrist and his neck.
Okay.
I can't remember, to be honest with you, I can't.
But at that point you knew he was gone.
My family is never going to forgive me. Neither is his. And my son.
I think it's a lot to ask for them to forgive, but I think at the same time, Jen, you're giving them some answers too. And that's important for them.
You can't control what they do or how they feel. All you can control right now is your actions from this point forward, okay? And you made a horrible mistake. There's no disputing that. I'm not going to minimize it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We all know that. You know, I said, we don't think you're dumb. You know that. You know, but all you can control from here on out is your actions from this point forward. And all you can do is try to be the best person you can be and set that example for Brady that even when you make a mistake, you can be honest with it. You can, you know, take your punishment and try and do the right thing. Try to make your amends with who will accept it and who, you know. You know, your dad. I don't know him, but he's gonna be your dad always, and your mom's gonna be your mom, and they will still love you. You know. Will they be disappointed? Will they be hurt? Sure. That's not my lie to that either. Of course they will, but they will still care about you. Okay. I believe that.
He had so many years to live. I never thought, and I guess marijuana isn't the worst thing, but I watched my dad for 40 years deal with marijuana addiction, and you just wouldn't think you'd get yourself into drug addiction either.
Was that a long time ago, or when was that?
Dad?
Yeah, when your dad was...
He stopped smoking pot when he was 40 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 50... What is he, 53, 54 now?
Okay.
54. Yeah. He was a good father, though. He never... And I'm not saying it's right, but he never did it in front of us, and he never subjected us to all the weirdos and stuff that stuff can produce. But he smoked pot since he was, 20 years old, 21, until he was 40.
I just have to clarify a couple things, okay?
Yeah.
You said that there was a throw rug, is what you describe it as?
Throw blanket.
Throw blanket.
Yeah.
And you put that up there on his shoulder and rested the gun on it. Was that for any other reason other than to stabilize the gun? Were you trying to make it quieter so that Brady wouldn't wake up, or anything like that? I mean, was it like around the barrel at all, or was that your thinking at that time, to not wake up Brady, or not?
No, maybe not. I think because I was shaking so bad, it was rattling.
Okay. Just like you were
I
trembling?
mean, yeah.
Okay.
Even though Jim was a heavy sleeper, but...
How do you take someone's life and then go on with your own? I don't know how.
Do you have any other questions for me?
I think I need to go lay down.
Yeah, just one other one. It was the same gun that he had taught you to shoot?
Yes.
And what kind of gun is that? I mean,
is it a 12 gauge or a 20 gauge? I can't.
Is it a shotgun?
It's a shotgun with a scope.
Okay. And it's the action. Do you know what kind of action it is? How you have to load a bullet in it?
Like a semi-automatic? Is that what you mean?
Do you have to pump it?
You have to pump it.
Okay. Is that
in order to?
Okay. Because there is another gun up there that Brady brought up.
Yes.
And I just want to verify we're on, because we'll have to sort that out, and our scientists will have to do that. And you used the ammunition you said was the same ammunition?
Yep.
And it was what kind? Was it birdshot or slug?
It was slug, I think.
Okay. And do you know the difference?
No. To be honest, I don't.
Okay.
No.
But that's what you were shooting outside, was slugs?
I believe it was slugs.
Which is what you use for deer hunting, is what he's having you practice with?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
And I know Mike said that we weren't going to push you, and is it okay if I ask you? Because I was wondering too, and because we had talked that morning and stuff, and then I went in there and you were on the couch sitting there with Brady. Things that kind of, there was stuff laying there in the room, and there was a chair that was moved and stuff. When did all that stuff get put in the room or changed, or? Because our assumption was that it, you kind of set that stuff up.
I can't remember.
Okay.
If it was before or after.
Okay.
Do
you remember though what was put out there and moved around and stuff?
I know I had pushed the chair. I had disheveled the chair.
Yeah.
The like rocking.
Yeah, the
type
rocking
chair.
chair with the newsstand next to it.
Okay.
And the rope and the knife.
Okay. And where did the rope come from?
It was on the counter.
Okay. And the knife is a kitchen knife?
Yeah.
And then the sai, that big weed cutter thing, where did that, how does that come into play in this? Were you thinking that would help your story about an intruder, or
It was out in the garage.
in the attached garage?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you brought that in there and
Yeah.
just laid it down?
Yes.
Okay. That would have been before you called 911, though.
Yes.
And I know I just have a couple other quick questions. When I talked to you before, remember I asked you about impact spatter on your clothing?
Yeah.
The clothing that we collected from you, was it the clothing you were wearing at the time?
Yeah.
It was. But you were very confident that there would be no impact spatter on there. Why is that? Or
Oh, I don't know.
you just were playing that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that day you said, oh, there won't be any blood spatter on my clothing.
I didn't. I don't even remember that, to be
Okay.
honest with you. I
Okay.
don't.
Okay. I just was wondering if you had changed clothes or something, or
No.
why you were, because you were very confident in that answer. And I just was curious because, usually when there's something where there's a gunshot, as you know, there's blood splatter and it gets on your clothes, and the scientists can look at that
Yeah.
and see that it's a different type of stain, versus. And just the last couple things, so the cuts on your legs,
Yeah.
you inflicted,
Yes.
the marks on your neck,
Yes.
you
They're
inflicted.
self-inflicted.
Brady didn't help you inflict any
No.
of those things or do any of that?
No.
I know you said he's not involved, but I'm just
No.
making sure. The one mark on your neck looked like a fork mark, like a fork. What did you use to make the marks on your neck? I guess is what I'm
The
asking.
knife.
You used the knife to make the marks on your neck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And same thing with your arms.
Yeah.
And the knife that you put out there, or a different knife?
No, the same knife.
That same knife.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And I can't, and I know that, there's probably more questions. Is there anything that you want us to make sure that goes in the report that the prosecutor knows that, I know you're sorry, right?
Very.
That's
Sorry.
obvious. That's obvious, but have you talked to anybody and told anybody about this yet, Jen?
No.
Besides us?
No.
You're not called your dad or talked to anybody?
No.
Okay.
We had talked about that wedding ring.
Did we ever find it?
That's what I was wondering if
Yeah,
you knew.
we don't have it, and it wasn't with Jim, so
Okay.
you didn't do anything with it?
I did not. No, I
Okay.
didn't.
Well, somebody.
His sister is kind of messed up though, and we caught her out at the farm after this happened, and she was taking some of his shirts and stuff, and I'm almost adamant she took it, but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Leslie.
Okay. A couple other just quick things. Ed Erickson,
Yeah.
you two never actually slept together?
No.
It was all just texting.
It was all texting.
So it was
Yes.
just flirting.
Absolutely.
There was never anything physical.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Nothing physical ever.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
So he knew nothing of any of this.
No, absolutely
I mean, he
not. Oh
didn't-
no, no.
Didn't say get rid of your husband.
No,
and
no, 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 no.
Nothing like that. So
No.
he's not involved in this in any way.
No, he's not. No, he's
Okay.
not.
Okay.
No.
And that ex-boyfriend you had brought up too. That
Mhm.
I mean,
It's probably a way for me just to try to get some of the heat off of me, I guess.
you didn't have consultation from anyone else or talk to anybody else. These other names that were brought up at all. You didn't talk to them about
No.
this, or they didn't give you ideas on it, or anything.
No, no, no. Oh
And
goodness.
we're just
no.
verifying that because if we need to go talk to those people,
Oh,
we
sure.
don't want to go talk to them if they're
Right.
not involved in their
No, nobody else was involved. No, it was just me.
The one other curious thing I do have is the when you did, I understand you're in a panic at that point.
Mhm.
This happened, boom, oh my God, what did I do? You're in a panic. Is there what's the reason you went with the intruder argument? Had you ever read about any other cases around this area like that or something, or anything like that? There's not a movie or something. Why did that get in your head? It just seems weird.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay.
I honestly don't know.
Okay, and that's fine. It's just something to me that's kind of a odd thing why that would be the
I'm not sure.
and it just it's a weird thing that popped in your head in that moment. That's what popped in your head. So. Okay. So go ahead, Paul. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that maybe Mike and I would talk for a couple minutes outside too, and then come in and see anything else real quick.
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Do you need anything else? Do you need another pop or you
No, this is fine.
Oh,
Thank you.
sure. Because we can get something if you need something.
Thank you.
candy bar or anything like that?
No.
Sure.
I can't eat.
Okay.
To be honest. Thank you.
Okay, just a couple quick clarifications, okay? So you haven't talked to Brady at all?
No.
Okay. You didn't try to call him, or?
I did not try to call him. I told Dad to tell him I loved him. I didn't know if hearing my voice would
Make it worse?
I just didn't know at this point, so
Okay.
But you've got minutes on a phone card over there and everything.
I can get a phone card from them
Okay.
whenever I need it. It's kind of
Okay.
how it sounds
Well,
like
I just,
it works,
so.
so.
If you wanted to call him, I just wanted to make sure that you're able to. If you're feeling, sometimes talking to somebody that cares about you and that you care about
Yeah.
will give you a little strength, and you're going to need to hang on to that right now, and like I say, he's a good kid, and he's going to be all right.
He's a good kid.
He's going to know that his mom made a mistake, but he's also going to know that his mom's a good person who told the truth, who's going to go forward telling the truth, and that his mom still loves him.
Yeah.
Okay?
Did you know that I talked to him at the school about that girl that time?
Lexi.
And I'll never forget him with his honesty that day.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the first ones we talked to, and
Yeah.
he was a great kid at that point. Even it stood out in my mind, and I forgot. So
That's good. He's a good kid. And I've been through a lot together.
We just have a couple clarification things quick, and we'll take you back, and you can rest. You said you woke up at 5:30.
Uh-huh.
Had you been thinking about it at all for a while in bed? Like, I gotta do this. I gotta change my life. I gotta.
I think I was at night when I was laying there wondering what could I do to change my life. And that's what I had thought about, I guess. But
Okay.
did it come into your mind at all when you guys were target practicing that day before, and you asked him for help on the?
The shotgun had some sort of influence on Nibbe. Jim had only given it to her days before his death.
I can't remember.
It's just something that I had kind of wondered about too. With
Right. Yeah, yes and no. Because I remember being appalled by even thinking that. But I guess I can't say no, it didn't.
do you remember, Jen? I mean, was that part of the reason you asked to shoot that day before?
No. No. No, that was something Jim was after me to do almost every day, because he had just bought that. And he's like, you really need to start practicing with it. So, no, that was...
That wasn't a purpose for shooting it that day or anything?
No.
Okay. And you really did wake up at 5:30. That's the right time.
Yeah.
Like you said from the
Yes.
beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And so there wasn't a lot of time that passed between the time you woke up
To the time it happened.
to the time it happened, just minutes.
Probably
Would you
minutes,
say?
yeah.
And then from then to the time you called
Yeah.
was just minutes, literally, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had you truly let the dog out before
I did.
the incident? So the dog was
The
outside.
dog was
Did
outside.
he start barking like crazy when the shot went off?
I don't know.
Okay. Because he's a hunting dog, so
Right.
usually that would.
He doesn't bark when shots go off.
Well, he doesn't.
No.
He's well trained.
He's trained not
Okay.
to, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, no, he wasn't.
Okay.
And everything went, I usually wear earplugs and stuff.
Mhm.
And it happened just so quick. I just, I did it, and everything kind of went silent in my ears.
Mhm.
I don't remember hearing a lot, or
Mhm.
Because of the noise, or just because of the situation in general?
I-
A gunshot in a house is very loud.
right. Yeah, I'm not sure, I guess,
Yeah.
but
And it really didn't wake Brady up. I mean, a gunshot in the house. I mean, he must be a sound sleeper too.
that, and I suppose because the door was shut between the basement and upstairs,
Okay.
and we're over here, and he's way down
Down
over there.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a pretty sound sleeper too.
Okay.
Brady was not involved.
Okay.
Okay.
I believe you.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that's
I believe you.
Okay.
I'm glad. And I believe you.
It-
So. I mean,
I'm a bad parent. I know that right now, but I'm not that bad of a parent.
You've been a wonderful parent to him, and
I would
that's
never
proof.
do that.
Well, Jen, you've been a wonderful parent to Brady, and you know what? Right here, as hard as this is, and you choosing to do this, it's more of you trying to do right by him. It's not trying to do right necessarily by you. Well, it is by you too, because you're trying to be honest and show that you are the
I need to
good
make this
person.
right. I mean, I can't bring him back, but I need to make this right.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and those are, you know, you owe some people some apologies.
Yeah.
Whether or not they'll be able to forgive you, I can't speak for them, but
Right.
you know, that's something that you're going to have to do at some point.
Yeah.
Whether it's in writing or whether it's, you know, verbally or how you can do that, I don't, you know, that's something for you to work out too. And again, you can't control how they will react or whatever, but you can just control you.
Yeah.
And do your thing. The last thing, unless you have something else, Paul.
Well, do you remember how long? I mean, you said that. How long did it take before we came over to talk to you? Because you had apparently told one of the jailers too that did we keep you waiting a long time before we got up here?
Today, he means today.
Do you remember who you talked to over there or anything, or what you told them or anything?
The gal, I just asked if she could get a hold of you, and then I said your name too.
Okay.
And
Was it Stacy over in the jail?
I can't remember.
Stacy Graff, a sergeant. Oh, that's the one
I
that
think
called
so.
me.
She's got the then it was her, because I was sitting watching TV and she said, ouch, and she said that I got a hold of. She said she knew who you were. She
Yeah.
wasn't quite sure who you were, but
Okay.
and so she says I'll call him. And then as I was sitting over there watching TV, she said I called his other phone too and left him a message. So no, it wasn't very long.
Because remember we talked on the phone the other day, and I had mentioned to you I didn't want to get in trouble about initiating stuff with you or anything, and
Right. And very for the record, very clearly,
Mm-hmm.
this was your choice of your own doing
Yes.
today.
Yes, I asked you both to come in.
yeah.
Okay.
Or I asked you, and I had asked for you. At first I thought she was only going to be able to get you to come in, but
But you wanted to speak to us investigators about this matter.
yes.
Nobody twisted your arm or
No.
tricked you or coerced you or
No.
anything like that. When
No.
we came in, I read your rights.
Yes.
You understood them.
Mhm.
You're in clear mind today.
I am.
You've not been using any drugs today.
Oh, absolutely not.
I hope they haven't been giving you anything.
No.
And so after having read your rights, you chose to speak with us,
Mhm.
correct? Okay. And the only thing that we've promised you is that we would be fair about the truth in your story, that we wouldn't twist things that you said, correct?
Yeah.
And be truthful. So we've not made any other promises to you or anything like that? Okay. I just want to have that clear so we're all on the same page on that,
Yeah.
that you were the one who said, get them guys in here, I want to talk to them.
Yeah.
I want that because I want that to show that you're the one who initiated of your own will.
I did.
So
Are you glad you talked to us?
I am.
I know this is
I
going
do
to...
feel a little bit like a little weight has been lifted. I don't feel good about it, but I mean, I feel good that I've just told the truth.
Yeah.
And what that shows, Jen, is that you are still a good person, okay? Because if you didn't care, if you didn't feel bad, you wouldn't care, you know what I mean? But it shows you care about this. You've been feeling bad ever since it happened. And I know in the car yesterday when I was looking at you and your eyes are tearing up and you were nodding your head at me because you know that you feel bad, you know? I mean, I've talked to people who don't feel bad before about doing terrible things, and you're not like that at all, okay? You're not. You do, and that's obvious to Paul and obvious to me, okay? That you have a conscience, that you do feel bad, that you want to make it right, okay?
As best I can.
As best you can.
Nibbe claims here that she wants to take responsibility, but that is later diminished when she makes accusations against Jim in an effort to reduce her sentence.
Yep. So, okay.
Is there anything else that we could do for you right now? I mean, we can get you back there to try to let you get some rest and stuff, and
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I just like to go back there.
Okay.
and you've gotten a hold of us, or, you can get a hold of us again too, if you need something.
And that's the thing I would reiterate. Something may pop in your head that you forgot that you think is important, that you want on the record, you want the prosecutor to know, whatever. Please don't be afraid to tell them, hey, I need to talk to Mike or Paul. Get them in here, or get a hold of them, please, and we will come in directly to speak.
I just want my family and their family to know that I'm sorry.
Okay.
And I can't make it go away.
If I have an opportunity to speak with Jim's family, would you like me to relay that message to them that you're sorry?
I do.
Okay, I will do that.
It won't help, but
That may or may not be. You may be right, but if you want me to relay that message to them, I will.
it'd be nice. Thank
Okay.
you. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's all real nice and she
initiated it, I know.
Smiles? Really? Really?
It's all on video. We gotta go finalize the disc, but she gave it up.
When you get that file, just let me watch it.
God damn. She called us. Yeah, she asked for a lawyer yesterday. But we had given her the speech on the car ride in here, thinking that was her shot, and when she said no lawyer, it's sitting in jail overnight. See, it's